So North Houston is growing super fast, but not all neighborhoods see the same growth. And actually there are quite a few neighborhoods that people are leaving or moving out of or getting away from. So first I'm gonna go over which neighborhoods people are moving out of in the 23, 24, and even 25 range. And then which areas they are moving to and why they are so popular to move to, why the change, and then why that matters to you if you're buying or selling in this area or in the state of Texas. Hey guys, I'm Natasha Tessier, born and raised here. Would love to help you relocate or downsize or move out to a different area. Maybe you need to get away from the city that's changed quite a bit in the last 20 years. Let's talk about the suburbs that people are leaving. The one big one, besides some of the obvious that have been crime ridden, for many, many years, even when I was young, areas like Spring and Klein, I have a lot of clients selling their homes in those areas and trying to get further out, outside 99 or even out to Montgomery, Magnolia area. Let's talk about the reason for that. Well, first of all, it's gotten really crowded. Second of all, some of the schools have dropped in ratings. Some are still good, but you need to watch for, Klein ISD. Some schools are A rated, some are C and D rated, so you really need to watch where it is. The crime in Harris County, which Klein is in Harris County, has gone up. We are almost the third largest city in the nation, and I've mentioned this many, many times. Harris County and Montgomery County are completely opposite. Harris County, the rules and restrictions on criminals are nowhere near what they are in Montgomery County. So a lot of people are moving for safety, to get to safer communities, newer communities, away from that city life and more land and more peace and quiet closer to the lake. So now let's talk about where people are moving to. So the first one is going to be Conroe, which has almost grown 7% between 22 and 23. And over the past 5 years, almost 23%. So Conroe has seen huge growth out that way. Conroe, Willow, all out that way. Now, again, there are still some schools in those areas that are not highly rated. So if schools are important to you, you're gonna wanna check that out. And for resale, schools are important to you. You don't want to get in one of these one-off neighborhoods where it's mostly investors and your home doesn't hold value. Please hire a realtor who knows what they're doing, who can direct you to where you need to be so that your home holds value. Some of the cheapest neighborhoods are not always the best neighborhoods. Sometimes it's better to be a little bit smaller in one of the nicer neighborhoods to hold on to that value. But Conroe has seen huge growth. There's always activities and events, the catfish fry, all sorts of things going on out there. People love the city of Conroe and the growth that is happening out there. So in the past 10 years, Conroe has permitted over 14,000 homes. That is more than Sugar Land, more than Pearland, more than Lake City, just in Conroe alone. Tons of growth, tons of new neighborhoods, and tons of houses going on out there. Those permits for growth continue to grow with over 200 and 300 a year. So there's a lot of growth happening out in Conroe. Okay, and so why are people moving out here? First of all, affordability. The same house out in Conroe in the city of Houston is going to probably be half the price. So you can get a really nice house for $300,000-400,000 that, in the heart of Houston Memorial area might be $800,000, $900,000. So you can get a lot more of affordable home, a lot more space. Some people are buying on land, some people buying, larger lots, quieter neighborhoods. And then of course the attraction of Lake Conroe and being right there. A lot of people boat on the weekends or boat after work and stay busy on Lake Conroe. So that is some of the growth out that way. They did have a moratorium on the water issued. So some people were building and they put down restrictions, a moratorium where they would not allow any more sprinklers or anything to go in because of the demand on the city. I think that is mostly lifted now, but it did impact some of the growth out that way. I know in one of my popular neighborhoods, we had a lot of issues where the sprinkler systems didn't go in until after the moratorium was lifted because of the restrictions put on by the city of Conroe because the growth was happening so fast. Moving on to number 2, one of my favorites, Magnolia. This is right by me in Montgomery. I absolutely love it. So just from 22 to 23, Magnolia's growth was 58.9%. Huge growth on the city of Magnolia. People are moving out here like crazy. From 2000 to 2004, it was over 150% growth. So the growth in Magnolia is astounding, honestly. And now they're talking about the new Magnolia Town Center, which I think is absolutely going in. And then you have all these neighborhoods popping up. I just saw the signs go up for Two Step Farms. I have somebody going to build in there. Gorgeous new neighborhood with some semi-custom homes. You've got Creston, you've got Audubon, Woodhaven, Colton. There is a reason these developers are buying up all this land and putting in master plan communities, because they see the growth coming this way. The current median home price is $300,000 in Magnolia, which is still pretty affordable. I do see that price going up over the next 5 years, of course, because of all the growth. And then I mentioned this already, the Magnolia Town Center. It is 200 acres, you guys. It is going to be huge, and it is a $1 billion project of mixed-use development. Once that goes in, we are really going to see a lot of change and growth in the area. So, you know, the cool thing about Magnolia is there's only 2 high schools right now. You've got Magnolia West, which is the old Magnolia, and then Magnolia High School, which is new Magnolia. You know, it's divided with a border between the two. But a lot of this growth is happening in both sides of that. And you've got a brand new H-E-B, a brand new Lowe's going in, all sorts of restaurants and shops. And then old Magnolia is just about to be developed. That is where our Aggie Highway was just extended all the way to College Station. Going out that 249, it is going to blow up. There are going to be restaurants. Already Colton and Creston are out that way, and they're building because they know, again, what is coming that way. So the growth in Magnolia is going to be amazing. It already has been, but it's going to get even busier out that way. Okay, Cypress and Tomball. A lot of people like Cypress and Tomball because of that diversity within the schools. You're still further out, but you're not so far out. So that's often a choice for people. We used to live in Tomball. It is a great town. The downtown Main Street of Tomball is fantastic. There are breweries. There are famous barbecue stations. The Bonfire is a great restaurant. There's antique shops and coffee shops. They still have the German festival twice a year. They have the Christmas parade. Very small town charm in Tomball. And then Cypress has a little bit more, not so much of a small town charm, but you've got a big Costco and all the big hospitals in Cypress. You have a new Methodist going in out off 290 and lots of growth. We did get a new Costco in Tomball that people are loving. It's a little smaller one on 249. The growth in both Cypress and Tomball also has been crazy. And not to mention, Tomball just built their brand new stadium for their football team, but now they have a 3rd high school. So there's Tomball Memorial, and there's a 3rd high school going in out off 99 near the stadium. I know they're in the works for that. I'm not sure of the exact year it'll open, but again, you're going to see a ton of growth in the Tomball area. Okay, so let's talk about Cyfair ISD. It is huge and highly ranked. It has a B rating overall. People love it. Again, within every school district, you have different ratings, so you need to check out which schools your neighborhood that you're looking at is zoned to, and will that change as new schools are created. Cyfair has been recognized as one of the top districts in the city. It's number 7th school district based on the Houston area, 2nd for athletes. So it is a very athletic area. If you love all things sports, you might want to check out, like Bridgeland High School always does really well. Cyfair, all the other schools in there, lots of good athletes in the area. And then it's 1st in Harris County for diversity. So if diversity is important to you, that may be a place for you. Some of the complaints that you get out in the, Montgomery area is that it's not diverse enough. So if you're looking for diversity, Cyfair might be a good spot for you. Tomball, too, has been an A-rated school district. Now, this is the whole school district. So again, you have to look at the specific schools, because we've had both good and bad experiences within the Tomball ISD. So make sure you look at the schools that you're zoned to, but they are an A-rated district and one of the top in Harris County. Academics is important to you. You can get into one of those areas where it's all A-rated and all the schools are A-rated, and then the education and the school district has great performance. And if that's important to you, then Tomball might be a good spot for you. It is a smaller school district. So as I mentioned, they're building their 3rd high school. I think Cyfair has 12 or 13. I've lost count how many high schools. So much bigger school district if that's important to you. Okay, and then we can talk about all the different developments. If you're looking for luxury, my most popular luxury is going to be Willow Creek Ranch there in Tomball. It's just on 99. Absolutely stunning community. I am the top producer in there, sold over 20 homes. It is absolutely stunning and a great place to live. I've lived there myself, so I can speak to that. And then you've got Wood Trace out on 249, which is a master plan community. You've got a lot of smaller communities and community on land. You've got North Point in Tomball, kind of Cypress area. And then as you go into Cypress, of course, you've got Town Lake, Bridgeland, Fairfield, all those neighborhoods that are great. So there's lots of different ways to live in the Cypress and Tomball area. So many options of ways to live. Some people I know live on acreage out there with very low taxes, and some are ag exempt, so people have land all the way up to the master plan communities and everything in between. Lots of different opportunities in the Tomball Cypress area for living. Okay, so the last place people are moving is going to be the Woodlands. Of course, the Woodlands gets rated over and over as top 1, 2, or 3 city to live in the entire nation. It really truly has so much to offer. I'm gonna do a whole video on the Woodlands coming up, but it really is a fantastic place to raise a family or work. That there's tons to do. There's restaurants, a brand new sushi bar that I absolutely love has just gone in there. There's shopping, the waterway, so much to offer in the Woodlands. A lot of people like all the trees of the Woodlands. It's in a very affluent area. The only complaint that I ever hear is that everything is kind of older. There's not a lot of brand new development because it was developed, 80s, 90s, early 2000. There's not much room for growth. There are a couple of luxury neighborhoods in there, but most of it are your villages. So Alden Bridge, Cochran's Crossing, Indian Springs, all those little villages, even Creekside, which is kind of the newer portion of it that is zoned to Tomball. All those little villages are what's most popular. So you have yourself a Trader Joe's there, you've got a Whole Foods, you've got Market Street there with tons of shopping, restaurants. The Audrey is a very cool kind of restaurant and eat-in movie theater that is kind of luxury fun to go on a date night. A lot of my clients will stay in the Woodlands at Hyatt Centric and be right there to go out and enjoy while they're trying to figure out what area of Houston that they want to move to. Another thing that people love about the Woodlands are all the parks, pools, and walking trails. If you live in the city, there isn't an HOA. It's all part of your tax rate, and the taxes are usually 1.9 to 2.1. So they don't do like a separate HOA fee. People love that, and you have access to all those amenities. If you live in one of those villages, you're part of the Woodlands Township, which is fantastic and has so much to offer. Tons of trees, very pretty area, lots and lots of beautiful homes. On the flip side of things not being new, a lot of the homes have a lot of character and charm and have been remodeled. So not every house looks the same, and that is attractive to a lot of people. It's also closer to the airport. So 20-25 minutes from the heart of the Woodlands, you can be at Nettle Airport. And so if you travel for work, that is a huge plus too. And then of course we can talk about the schools. They're huge. The Woodlands High School has its own freshman campus. I think there's about 1,000 or more per grade. So when you're talking 4,000 plus kids in a high school, that can be overwhelming and fantastic all at once. One of my kids wanted to learn Japanese, and that was the only school that we could find that offered it. So it does have so many offerings for the kids. It's just really big. Okay, so those are the main areas that people are moving to. And let's just kind of go over why we're moving. First, it's going to be affordability. So getting out of the city, you're going to be able to afford a lot more. I spoke with somebody yesterday. They've been down in the Galleria. They don't feel safe anymore. They have a cool townhouse that is worth, $600,000-700,000. And out here, that's going to be an amazing house. So a lot more bang for your buck and affordability out here in the suburbs than in the areas we were discussing. So, and again, more amenities, especially as you look at these new construction communities, these master plan communities, you're going to have a lot more that these master plan communities offer that the older communities, say in the Klein and Spring area, don't offer, whether that be walking paths, workout facilities, neighborhood splash pads, luxury resort pools, all the things that these new neighborhoods are offering that a lot of the older neighborhoods do not. So it's more affordable. It has a lot more amenities. A lot of the newer neighborhoods have a lower flood risk. So what they're doing is, first of all, most of these developers are not buying land in the flood area. So that helps. And then in addition, they have created these amazing systems where they have retention ponds in the neighborhood. It's holding water. They're building the houses higher than the street. They use the streets to drain the water into the retention pond. I actually lived in Wood Trace, which was newer at the time when Harvey came in 2017, and nobody had water on their lawn. It was a brand new neighborhood at the time, very, very well developed when it comes to flooding. So a lot of people like the new neighborhoods because of the way the houses are situated, and you don't have to worry as much about flooding. And then lastly, the main thing is the school districts. You've got a lot of A-rated, smaller schools with great academics out here. So people are moving out here so that they can attend the public school and they can, enjoy a slower pace of life, but their kids can, a lot of times they're putting these, like in Audubon, they just put a brand new elementary school in the neighborhood. So you're walking to the elementary school, you're dropping your kids off, you're walking back. Some people go in their golf cart, just easy living for the kids. Lots of friends built in. So people are loving the master plan community feel. So that's it for where people are moving out of the city and into these great neighborhoods. I would love to help you with your relocation. Please feel free to reach out anytime. Fill out the form below. We will be in touch. We would be glad to help you. It's just myself and 2 girls who help me. I don't have a team. I'm not going to brush you off to somebody else, and I would love to work with you. I hope you have a blessed day.